Greetings all and welcome back. I am Zar or Zardia, also known as Matthew, and today we are going to be conducting a short review of the Dart Zone Destructor. This is a new blaster for this year. It's one of the most unique blasters out there currently in that you have a hopper-fed dart system, which is something that has only been displayed with the previous year in the Adventure Force Command Fire. There's been quite a bit of improvements from last year's design that we're going to be getting into here. So to begin, we have our loadout here. This is our dart bandolier with attachment points. As you can see, you have 2 sling points on the Dart Zone Destructor. It's a very light blaster. It's just slightly larger than a Raven, so it packs a lot of power in a compact package. So going over some more of the externals here. This is our rev trigger. It's located in a very comfortable spot, and once you get used to it, it's very easy. Here's our trigger. It feels very good, quite snappy. What we have here is our hopper. This is the single load mechanism that you can use right here, which I think is really neat. It makes it kind of like an Infinus, in where it's not actually chambered into the mag automatically. But with the hopper, you don't need that. You just throw one dart in there. Really good for scavengers. And it's a nice option to have. And then on the other side, you don't have one of those apertures, but you can see that it does fold out on this side. And here are our darts. In preliminary testing, I have been able to fit about 44 to 45 darts in here and still have it fire with some reliability. And we can close our hopper. Sometimes you do have to watch out for these darts getting a little bit miscued in here. They like to get caught right here, and that's because we're leaning toward this direction. But in a battle where you're more leaning toward the front, like this, they naturally line up, and as you can see, there's not nearly as much concern about that. So we have our front handle here. It's very comfortable. It's in a good spot, and it has 2 positions. You can put it down there, and that's where you kind of bring this grip in, or you can have it up. And you can see below there is a less than strategically placed tactical rail. From what I can tell, this rail is compatible with N-Strike. However, we cannot actually fit anything on here because of the front sling mount. And I'm kind of torn if I want to do a modification where I actually sand this down and I'm able to put some type of laser up here, which I think would be really cool. Of course, you lose a sling point in the front, but with a sling point in the back, I think most people would have it hanging just like this on their side. This blaster would make an extremely good secondary, in that once your primary is out, you can just whip that out. You got a full capacity of darts, blow off that, and then you can use your bandolier here to load one at a time. Or what you can do is get one of those carry-on dart cases, in which they're all lined up like this in stacks, and just grab a handful and toss them in here. And that's the next point I want to cover here, is the loading of this can be a little tricky, especially when you only have 2 hands in your recording. But I'm going to give it my best. So I found that the easiest way to load this thing with reliability is that when you have a handful of darts, like this, and of course will probably be a lot more if you're in a live battle. First thing you want to do is kind of get them all even. And then a lot of people have the tendency to try and load this like this with their hand down. And that can lead to problems. What you want to actually do with this is, when you drop the darts in, you want to keep your thumb and forefinger up. So you kind of want to have an angle like this when you're dropping the darts in. And when you do that, they drop into place without too much trouble at all. If you put it this way with your hand down, they're going to want to stick up from the back. But if you drop them in like this with your hand up, they'll almost always fall right into place without any issues. So that's a quick loading tip for this blaster. And I displayed that to all the boys at the most recent event, which was Gateway Heights Days. Thank you to all who came out. It was a good time. So we'll proceed to our firing demo now. I got my target up here. And the rate of fire is very good. In addition to the actual FPS, which I'm seeing anywhere between 85 to 95 FPS, some even averaging up to 100 FPS. Out of the box, that's phenomenal. That's truly phenomenal performance. So here we go. So you can see really snappy rate of fire there. It's shooting hard. And it looks like we are already out. It goes through very quickly. Now you can do single shot. It just takes a little bit of discipline. And you can see the internals of the hopper here. It's quite a bit of a different system. It does a lot better job of getting the darts out. And as you can see, we just fired through 44, 45 darts in no problem very quickly. It's also quite accurate. And it does really good with range because this is a hip-fired blaster. And you kind of have arcing shots naturally with it. So all in all, for 30 bucks, you can't go wrong with this blaster. This blaster can serve many purposes on the battlefield. You have the option of single shot if you're easy on the trigger, or if you're hard, obviously you can play heavy. You have the ability to have that high rate of fire. I'm really quite astounded at the rate of fire considering it's a hopper-fed system. So until next time, I wish you all well. I'm still getting to my Tactical Helios review. I have not forgotten, but I did want to get this in. I'm also trying to pick up the Adventure Force Savage Spin, as I hear that's also a very good blaster. I'd like to get hands-on with it and test it out. But until then, this has been the Dart Zone Destructor. I have one last thing to mention. Right here is your jam clearing port. There is actually no jam door on this blaster. So what you have to do is get some type of knife or something you can get in here and pull it out. I've fired probably 1,500 to 2,000 rounds to this blaster already. I've had one jam. And it was easily remedied using that system that I just mentioned. And for 6 AA batteries, you've got plenty of room for modification here if you want to go LiPo. I'm not exactly sure how that system could work. You might have to tweak a few things. But the potential is there. And really, you don't need to modify this blaster to have it be competitive, even at super stock, as it will fill the function that it needs to. Again, just a perfect entry point blaster. You don't need any magazines. You don't need anything external for it to operate. It's ready to go out of the box. It shoots hot, it shoots hard, it shoots fast. Primetime Toys, Dart Zone, well done everyone. This is probably one of the best blasters of 2019. It's unique. It has performance. It's shooting really hard for AA batteries. I can't say enough about the Dart Zone Destructor. So until next time, thank you for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed this review. And keep flinging that foam.